Okay, so what you're looking at right now is the primary studio mixer. And the rest of the studio. That particular mixer is one of these. The Zenix 1002FX. It's 10-channel mono, so basically 5-channel stereo total. Premium 10-input 2-bus mixer with Zenix mic preamps, British EQs, and 24-bit multi-FX processor. Nice mixer, except there's one problem. It's a little bit too small for me right now. I've got more inputs than it really can handle. So I decided to get an upgrade as a birthday present because my birthday is coming up rapidly. Actually, as of the making of this video, you can see the date on your screen. It is in 3 days. That's a pretty scary thought. An even scarier thought is that it looks like, and you'd be right if you said that I'm using a tripod. The way I have it set up right now is that the microphone and most of everything is on that 1002, and I also have an 802 at the back. You can't really see it. It's behind that camera and all that stuff, and that's got stuff on it as well. However, it's at capacity. I can't add anything else. And here is the upgrade. It is a Zenix 1204 USB, and it looks nice from the box. Actually, it looks very nice from the box. It's got faders on it, which is nice, better than the knobs. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more reliable than the knobs. I got a couple CDs as well, but they didn't come from the same place. I have these cables, which I will need. They're XLR female to RCA male. I am going to need them. I have 2 of them. Obviously, it's stereo, so. Premium 12-input 2-bus analog mixer with built-in USB audio interface. I don't know what 2/2 means. I think that means that it's got 2 in buses and 2 out buses. That's interesting. I do know that it's got USB output. I think you could use the USB as an input as well. And it's got, well, I'll get into that in a second. 4 state-of-the-art phantom-powered Zenix mic preamps, 4 studio-grade compressors with LED indicator. That is going to be very useful, for the microphone anyways. Thing over here, we can get a closer look at what it looks like. Alt 3 and 4, that's one of the outputs, I believe. Yes, that would be, basically that would be like your record bus on something like an Allen and Heath mixer, which is actually what I wanted. I wanted to get a 10-input Allen and Heath. Even though it wouldn't have been larger than what I already had, well, it would certainly be a lot higher quality. You see, these Zenix mixers are cheap mixers, and I didn't want to really buy one. I wanted to get something that was a little bit better, but, well, they didn't have any, so that's alright. We'll just stick with this. Tried and true. Neo-classic British 3-band EQs for warm and musical sound. I never use those, except to have fun with them every once in a while. Free software, I'll never use that either. Clip LEDs and mute Alt 3/4 function on all channels. Nice thing to have. It does not do that on the some of the other things, like the stereo RCA jacks. Those do not have a mute, which is okay. I don't really have any reason to mute them anyways, because it's got a 2-track button, so that should be fine. Okay, so and there's all the other stuff. It's got a power switch on the back, and it looks like it doesn't have a power supply. So that's even better. No proprietary power supply to fail. Alright, let's go ahead and open her up. If I can. I should be able to, no problem. This doesn't look like it'd be that difficult. Just like that. And styrofoam. First, there is, looks like a power cable. Yes, that's a power cable. And, what's this? Looks like a shelf of some kind. It's a big piece of metal. So we'll get this styrofoam out of the way. There's the manual. And here, to get it out, is the mixer unit. Anything else? Nope, nothing else in the box. So, there we go. There she is. Let's actually take a look at it. It's got 4 microphone channels, which is not something I'll really need because I only have space for 1 studio guest in here, and I've got my microphone, obviously. It's got a much better, I can see right off the bat, it's got a much better, a much better set of LEDs. Let me take the camera off the tripod and we'll get a better look at it. Alright, here we go. No stupid tripod in my way. So like I said, there's the 4 mic channels. You can use 1/4 inch for those, or XLR. I have 1/4 inch. They've got gain knobs and a low-cut filter on them. All 4 of them do. It looks like we've got 2 stereo aux returns. This does not have built-in FX, which is a downgrade, admittedly, but not something I will ever care about, because I rarely use the FX anyways. And if I really want to, I can put this on a channel and use the 1002 FX, which I think I am going to do. So there's our 2. We only get 2 stereo inputs there. They are separate line channels, but they're controlled, they're ganged together in the mixer, so they've got level controls, +4, -10. I did make use of those, but it's not really going to matter much. There's 2 stereo returns, there's our 2-track, there's a headphone output. I wonder where the control room output is. I think that's on the back. Yeah, there's some things on the back, too. I think that's where those are. Of course, faders, which is nice to see. There's our mute buttons on all of the channels. So that'll be good for the microphone, assuming it does actually work. So there's our... It does have FX knobs, but that is for external FX processing. So it's not for something onboard. Unless it does have onboard FX and the controls just on the back, but I don't think that's the case. What else? So there's our equalization, and there's our compressors for the mic channels, and all the other things. So let's go ahead and go to the back, and we can see, yeah, there's the control room output. Alt-3-4, which is a separate output. There's the main output, which is XLR, so I am going to need those XLR cables, XLR to RCA, and I'll plug it into the other mixer. There's our phantom power switch, which we'll have to make sure is off. There's our power switch, and power plug is right there. Alright, so let me unwrap this thing. Alright, leave that for a second. I've got it hooked up. Comes on. That all works. I've got the other one hooked up as well. And I've also got a couple of the cables hooked up. Basically the 2-track and the interconnection between the mixers and all that stuff. So now I just got to hook everything else up. So let's go ahead and do that. Should have everything plugged in now. So we'll go ahead and I'll make sure that everything works. So I will fire up that, which will give me the second mixer, and then I will get, that's the phantom power. I'll get this hooked up, and I'll get the microphone level adjusted to where it should be. and it is not working. Probably because I don't have the main mix up. Okay. Something is not right here. Turn it all the way up. Okay, I don't have any output. I wonder why that is. Huh, interesting. There we go. Ah, yeah, okay, I figured it out. It's, the source has to be on. Whoops. Oh dear. So we'll turn that up, and I should get speaker noise and feedback. Lots of feedback. Actually, there's no feedback there, but... So that is actually working. I'm going to set this to 0. Microphone is turned all the way up. So now you can see, obviously, I am not very good. Don't really... Huh, that's interesting. This microphone is actually really quiet. So... Yeah, this microphone is actually really quiet. I push mute, I can't talk anymore, and it works, just the way it's supposed to. Perfect. Okay, so that I'm going to say is adjusted. I'm going to mute it. So we'll check the Yamaha CD changer. That'll be the first thing I do. I don't know what it's on, so we'll get to find out what input it's on. That's interesting how I have to have that on in order for it to come out of that. Oh, wait a minute. So if I turn that off, yeah, okay. If I turn that off, it does actually go through the output. It's working fine, but I don't have the meters on the mixer because apparently those are for the control room outputs, which I find rather interesting. Okay, well that's something to keep in mind if you get one of these. So we'll mute that again. I'll probably leave it just fine because I always do that anyways. So it's not that big of a deal. Here we go.
Girl can't help it. She really can't help it now. It's like a high school.
I think the output from this mixer is a little quiet. Actually, I just noticed something else. So I better write this crap down. Yamaha is 7/8 on 1204. Where's my notepad?
Anita and Bert, maybe Van Doren, Dagmar, high school confidential.
Since this is the output, maybe I should just set it up there. Don't touch it. Just let it do its one thing. Ah, it does work. Sweet. Okay, so it always goes to the output. That's good. I like that. That works. Okay, alright, you can shut up now.
And what you think?
Stupid re-recording. Oh, crap.
And when you finish doing that, bring in the dog. Put out the cat.
That's actually a little loud. Turn that down. Or I'll leave it alone. Alright. Shut up. Man, I hate that. Stupid re-recording. Okay, so that's good to go. Everything seems to be fine. I'll leave it alone. Okay, so I've just noticed something here. See this cable? Let's see where that goes. Oh, it goes to an input in the other mixer. Whoops. Okay, so let's go for a studio tour, and this is actually the second time I'm recording this, because the first time was, well, back in at the beginning of April, and there's been some stuff that has changed. I'm not going to talk about everything in the entire studio, because that would just take forever. Only the changes. Obviously, the primary mixer right there has changed. That's the Xenix 1204. This camera has moved over here. This is the Sony CCD Tier V72. And it is now the camera that looks at the secondary mixer, which is back there. That camera is the same. This one's new. now looks at the primary mixer. That's the JVC Everio GZE200. That one's the same. That camera's the same, although you can't really see it that well. And that camera's the same. Actually, pretty much everything in the studio is the same. I did change the music player computer. That was last night after I got thoroughly ticked off with the existing music player computer. Decided it was going to malfunction live on the air, so I threw it across the room and replaced it with that. That is a Toshiba Tecra 8100. It's the model lower, and so far actually it seems to be a lot more reliable. That's obviously on. That's doing its one job over there. I'm not even doing anything really in the netbook. I might replace that netbook because the netbook actually it has a fan problem. So this is somewhat new. This is a Technics. You can't really read it because the focus is pants, but this is a Technics SLP230. It is a single disc player. I've put that in here because I paid a lot for it, so I might as well use it. Two tape decks are still exactly the same, the Proton 740, though I don't know if the Proton was here in the last studio tour, but if it wasn't, well, here it is now, Proton 740. And there's the Technics RSTR270. The Yamaha CD changer is still there, the CDC585. I have a Sony CDP-C305 above that because the 545 malfunctioned. And then on top of that, I got rid of the RCA and I replaced it with a Kenwood DP-R891 5-disc CD changer, which is a unit that I happen to like a lot more than the RCA. The RCA was kind of a piece of crap. But there you go. There is your studio tour. Everything else in the studio has mostly remained the same. I did forget that I changed the computer. That is an HP Pavilion 541C that replaces the HP Compaq Evo D530, which had bad capacitors. I don't know if there was a second studio UPS, but there is now. There's an APC back UPS ES550, and of course the trip light unit that you can see the display on over there. I also changed that sign so that it's accurate. Okay, that is going to do it for the video. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off. I hope to see you next time. Till then.